For people watching this, what would you say to them? How can you give them hope? Because I know that you say you're still optimistic,
I
and you're
am.
saying optimism is not naive, it's hope. And you've quoted Lord Shackleton as
Yes,
well,
yes,
saying optimism is moral
it
courage.
is.
But I have to be honest, it's hard to be optimistic right
I,
now.
and I completely understand that, but my fear is that without optimism, without that expectation, because that's how I see optimism. Optimism is an expectation that things can and should be better. And there's a moment that we lose that expectation, we run the risk of drifting into indifference. And we can't afford that either. In terms of, messages, and again, I am an observer, so I'm always careful to give these commentaries, but what I'm suggesting is possible is within your own history. When you think about the tumultuous times that we've gone through as global communities, the Great Depression, World War II, significant moments in time, and then, predating that, of course, a horrific pandemic in influenza that took out the same number of people as casualties in those wars. We've had very extreme and tumultuous times as humans before, and during that time, you had a president that many describe as an empathetic leader in FDR, who, during great complexity of the Great Depression, where perhaps it would have been easier just to resort to blame and fear, would engage in fireside chats, explaining to the American public not only what was going on and the economic winds, but what the response would be. These aren't lofty ideals that have never been implemented before. There is examples of it in America's own history, as long as people maintain an expectation of what they expect in leadership.